haven't been streaming lately. I've been getting over a cold, and I keep getting like phlegm in my chest, so it makes it hard to talk sometimes. So I got my tea. We're gonna just go for a little while here. See how long we do. I skipped my usual Thursday stream because it just wasn't feeling well. So hopefully we'll do some cool stuff today. We'll see what we end up today. I think we'll go over. Let's go look at some stuff here. Look at our project. I think we need to ground ourselves here. I think look at all the things we've made so many things in the past 2 years. I think we can get a little lost in the weeds of it. So I think we need to ground ourselves a little bit. Ooh, I think that might come on. Just see if I can do it. Oh, I already have it. Okay. So this is our timeline that we've been looking towards. You can see up here we have Neotropolis coming down the bend here in late April. We're in February, but we are, what's the date? 15th. We're halfway through February here. What's that going on? I feel like old man. There we go. So we're halfway through February already. So we're really running out of time. We thought we kind of got pretty far on our Hytale mod. We need to add like one more item to it, so we may do that a little bit later, but we're going to try and get the LARP tools kind of wrapped up. Once we get to April, it's going to be like no time to do anything. So I really want to try and get like as much as possible. This modal, I think was a cool idea. I think we're going to put this, we're going to add this, kind of this, no. Maybe it's great. I don't think this will be something we'll be able to think about anytime soon. This might be a later in the year thing again. Can I not? There we go. So I'm going to put this in the later column. So move the Twitch APIs. Let's go over to later. Go view APIs. This we may end up doing in April. But I'm not sure. Blender. What I think the plan right now is we'll probably do Blender again later in the year. Once we get past Neotropolis, we'll probably head back into doing like test game again. And I've been rowing. The issue I've been having with the EXR row, it stopped wanting to stream. So I need to look into a new solution to see if I get EXR on my stream. I was casting it from my phone to my laptop and streaming off my laptop, but the casting from my phone doesn't work anymore. Like I did an update and it just stopped working for that game. So I gotta look into that, see if I can figure that out. Like basically, if I cast it to my laptop, it just becomes a black screen now. I don't know why. So I don't know. We're still rowing. We just haven't been doing that on stream because I think it's just streaming it. Company website I still need to do. Well, we haven't even started, so we should be honest. So that I need to start anytime. The classes, I do want to get back to. I do want to get back to that concept. I think that was a cool concept. But I think I need to get more focused on that. So I think right now, mostly we're going to be looking at the immersive LARP tools and try and get that done. I think I'm going to make a new document now and kind of like break that out a little bit more. Because like, we have some. Something, we have a concept here. I can zoom out here. I just want to use the hand tool here. I feel like something weird's happening where this is the view, appearance. There we go. I was like, this does not feel correct. This feels like it's way too low. And then there's Zenmo. What was the Zenmo? Ah, okay. That's a little more out of the way. So this is what we call the immersive LARP season pass. So this is the concept we're kind of trying to build towards, where we're trying to build a system where people could just log in prior to the event, get some lore, play some mini games, get onboarded and get activated for the actual event they're going to, and then they'll be prepared to do activities with their accounts at the event, and then afterwards they'll get like a leaderboard email and some recap information, like a yearly recap kind of thing for that specific event, which will then lead to the next event announcement. And we'll have like a cycle. So like people who participate yearly on like some sort of seasonal activity, like be it a festival or be it like maybe it's a Christmas thing, they'd be able to use this kind of setup to be able to run their activities and get people more immersed is the goal. Pretty cool stuff, I think. Everyone that, like, when I talk to people about it and they understand the concept, they think it's really cool. So I just got to work on that. One thing we're going to work on too is I think we need to ground ourselves a little bit here and just revisit our streaming goals. Just real quickly. So the goal is build a community by crossing the boundary between online and in-person events through immersive activities. Grow a confident voice to express my ideas so I can build my creative visions. Personal goal, grow the habit of being present with the community that I appreciate. So it's kind of weird because right now, I had some momentum going, I had a few people hanging out, but I don't know what happened. This year's just kind of been weird. I think once I got the ads on my channel, people just go away. I think I'm entertained for free, but once they're like, oh, I have to sit through some ads to watch this guy, then they just disappear, So we'll see what happens. It is what it is. I'm just going to march forward. I may end up, I've been seeing a lot of Twitch streamers doing more stuff with YouTube, so I may try to engage YouTube a bit more and kind of get more on top of how YouTube works. I like both. I'm not too big of a I like that Twitch has some concepts and some toys that are fun to play with. But these are our goals, right? Our goal is to build a community. And I'm not quite seeing that happen right now. So I need to figure that one out. That's a nut I have yet to crack. Because the idea is like I don't want to be doing this alone. I want to be able to get people interested and involved and get like different feedback. Because the other thing is that I'm not getting a lot of feedback right now. It's zero feedback. So it's kind of difficult to be like, okay, is this working? I'm just going to continue with my vision. But if no one's going to tell me like, hey, this is cool, but I feel like I'm going to hit the finish line and then realize that like there's a lot of things I could have done better, and there's a lot of things that I could have gotten to the goal in a more applicable way, right? So we'll see how things go and how things grow. But like I know the bare minimum is that I just need to be consistent with my streaming. I haven't been streaming that long. I need to get better about streaming like more than just 2 or 3 hours. I need to do like 5 or 6 hour streams. When I do the research, it looks like that's the happy medium of streaming too long. Because a lot of people do like 8-hour streams. I just don't have the bandwidth for that. One, I just get out of energy. Like I just like lose interest. I'm just not that extroverted, I guess. Even with a camera and just sitting at home, I'm still not that extroverted. So we'll just see what happens. I think also it's like I may have to just be better about for the next 4 hours I'll just play video games or something. Something to just get the stream going and get people engaged. But I think I need to make more tools to do that. So we kind of revisited our goals here. I think I'm getting a little bit better about having a more confident voice. I think I'm getting a little bit more. I'm getting better about just expressing myself on camera here. But the one thing I need to work on is definitely getting rid of the odds and ums. And when I do have people like contacting me on stream, I need to be a little bit more confident in how I respond to everything as well. Because sometimes I fall back in people pleaser mode, and I don't think that's good for the stream. So that's where we're going with our stream goals. We are working on this refactor, right? So we added, looks like we kind of did a bunch of this stuff. We already added the accordion, we added menu items, we added carousel timer, RDPI. So I'm going to actually keep continuing this file here. call it the user portal. So we have like a landing page for this that the AI built, but we actually got to kind of design it and like make it do some things. And then we also need we haven't done the whole, you log in, you do activity, you get recorded for those activities into the database. We still got to work on that flow. So there's still a lot to do. On this side, dots. Or did I just grab that wrong? I think I just grabbed it wrong. That would be here. So we got a lot that we need to focus on here. So we kind of got the carousel maybe going. I think we'll leave that. It's not working for us here. That error is attached to this thing. So we got augment UI there. I'm going to leave this in the corner here because we may go back to adding some stuff. But that's not it. Mostly we're trying to do a logging flow. And then we're going to do a different flow as well. And this is just me kind of trying to organize my thoughts here. And I get my keyboard going tap, 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 tap. We'll just continue with this. So we got the user score flow, and what we're going to do with that is save save. So ideally we get these so the idea is that we need to start building like kind of some leaderboards. We have an old school leaderboard that we did. I really like the you stay there, arrow. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this back. I don't know how to rotate. There we go. Good. So what we might, I don't know where my head's going to be with this today. I know we just got a lot to get done. And I think, like, I've been flexing with it. I think I need to just sit there and be like, we just need to get this done. And so we got to save puck and activity score. And then we want to make like a third game. And have a view for that. But first thing is we gotta get packing going. Okay, so, but you know what we also need to do? We need presentation. Presentation as well. What do we call it? I'm just calling them flows because they're like, if I was doing programming at a company, I'd call them epics, but this is just like the big pieces here. So I have a friend that's doing some videos for this, and we're gonna like inject them into the games. So like the first one's gonna be like a this is what you're doing kind of screen. So we have a presentation flow we're working on as well. So once we get these three things in there, it should actually feel more of like an actual like terminal that you can interact with. I need to work on that a little bit, and then we got like some high in the sky stuff. accomplish, but I'd love to accomplish it this year. Like the problem right now is basically I have no, I work well when I have feedback and I have like people engaged with it, because then I'll be like, oh, okay, this is what needs to happen, this is what we gotta do. But I'm getting like 0. I've gotten none. So it's kind of difficult for me to be like, well, is this worth my time? It seems like no one's interested. But I'd like to do this for myself. And it's always very hard for me to get myself to do things for myself. Yeah, it's just hard for me. So it's like, if someone was asking me to do it, I'd have it like them in a heartbeat. No one's asking for this. It's kind of difficult for me to get that going. I want to rotate it, but essentially the thing just wants me to change later. It's a data fetching. I'd love to be able to grab the Neonat player. Neonat's a project I did like 2-3 years ago. Actually, like 3 years ago now. And then so it's kind of hard. We'll see where we end up. It's just like we'll just see where we end up. But like the main thing is we gotta get these 3 things done. So I'm gonna move this over. Because this one's mostly done. And I don't know what to do that. Okay, yeah. That's mostly done. This one's mostly done. I'll put it over here. I like that effect with the cross on it. It's faded out there. But these are the main thing's going to be finishing up this login flow. Why is that not working? Right? And then the user score flow. So I'd love to get the login flow kind of completed today, and I'd love to be able to just toss in the high score components that we had from last year. So you know what we do need to add in? For framework, we need to add in D3 again. Actually, what is D3? There was a library I used for graph. So that's on the to-do list. We're going to have to add in the graph library again for framework stuff. So we have to add the graph library to get some of the user score presentation in. So I guess we need to, I'll add that in as well, this presentation flow. Some phlegm in my chest right now. And I'm drinking tea. But actually, we might take a quick tea break once I'm done, like, kind of wrapping this out here. Trying out what we need to get done here. And this is, if I was an actual programmer at a programming company, we would then put these into stories, and then we would t-shirt size them. And then after that, we'd break them down into even smaller things, tasks, and then we would assign points to them. And then we'd pick up, X amount of points per week. That's how you do it in coding all these days. But this is just like a high level of what we need to get done for right now, for the refactor. So I think that covers most things for what we need to get done today. Again, we're focusing on login flow and user score flow, and we're probably going to pull in that graph library. So some of these things, hopefully we'll get these 2 done today and this. But like, I need to fix the login flow. It's not quite there. Well, it's there. I just gotta make it look nice. And I should add in the presentation flow. I guess is what it is. And that is just something we started working on. Where we left off last time is I started like grabbing the login from the previous game and added this game, and we're kind of like combining 2 of them to kind of consolidate some of the views. Because I had the timer in the upper right hand corner And then on the left side, I had like the login information, and it was kind of confusing people that there's 2 different timers. So I'm trying to combine both timers so people know like, okay, this is how much time I have, and then they can see that they're also logged. So we'll see where we end up with that. What I want to do is ultimately be able to pull in photos of the players. So we'll see how that ends up. So that's where we were thinking. Right now I just have Claude open. Okay, so let's do it. All caps. There we go. Oh, this is the wrong app. We need to do. This is the carousel. So we're just gonna open up our old build and open up the new build. So this is a new build. We built the app. So you can see like we started building out. This is almost done right here. So this side, there's going to be just like a column of like stuff on this side. And you can see it's this is only when you're logged in, right? So this is kind of playing up a little bit of the space. So on the previous one, this was spinning, so I think that's the next thing we're going to do is try to get this to spin. To indicate like you're doing an active thing. Well, actually, right now, it's not even supposed to do. It's supposed to be gray. So I got to figure out why it's not gray. In the last build, it was gray. When you're not logged in. So what's supposed to happen is, if I grab the beat, I don't know why I beat. I don't have a wristband. Wristband's here. So if I take my wristband, I can log in there, right? And then you can see like there's this. The name is a player, and then it has like this icon change. This icon's based off of this name here. So we gotta fix some stuff here. Excuse me. And then this becomes a terminate connection. So we also gotta clean this up because right now this doesn't feel like a button. So I may make this into a fancier component because right now we have like this pink around buttons. So right now this is all white. I may actually break this up into 2 different. Actually, I could probably go in and just make this that hot pink. So I may do that. I may just go and make this hot pink, and then go from there. Okay, maybe I'll add in the background colors. Let's see what I can do there. Because ideally we don't fill in these corners. So yeah, I think I can figure that out. We'll play with that a little bit too. And then we've got to redesign this guy. So in the old build, no close 3,000. I don't know why. There we go. It's right there. So this is the old build. When you scan, I'm kind of covering it right now. I should probably move my dude. I might move my dude to the corner in a moment here. You could see my dude, my picture. You can see like some menu items, and then right here I have like boxed in. So I'm just see if I could like get rid of this box because I think people had an issue. They could tell that these were buttons, right? Because they kind of highlight. So I actually got to go back and add in the highlight corner. People are having issues with determining what's a button and what's just something that's framed because these are buttons, right? And it's still kind of hard to tell. So I got to kind of sort that out a little bit. But let's log back in again because I can log this up. You can see this timer changed, but now there's 2 different timers. This is the login last and you see how it's spinning. So we're going to get that going. But we need to kind of figure this out a bit here a little bit better. Because these are buttons, but we can't tell some performance improvements a button. And that takes us to this screen. So we're gonna clean that up a little bit. Get that menu a little bit nicer, I think. And then we may end up we're gonna probably get rid of sponsor selection. And we may actually make that be like right to your wristband rating. So we got some options here. We got a lot of things we need to sort out. Let's go back to our build. The other thing is, the main thing for the last one was just a website, whereas this is actually an application. So like, yeah. So I think we got to make this feel more like a button. I don't like how this is this stretching the width of that now? I guess it's just always that width. It's just that height. I may try to figure out if I can make this feel, because you see how these are like more different shapes. I think I need some consistency with the shapes of my buttons here. the slides themselves, you see they cover the whole screen here, but I think we're going to kind of add like a sidebar here. Not put not put dead space, but like put our actions over here as we continue. Because basically we're going to have this carousel menu. The idea is that when you log in, you'll see like some stuff, or like this screen will, like if you hit menu and you go to operations, this game will say start. This will say something like, please log in with your new event to continue. But like also it'll just have the high score. So I gotta kind of break up the view to be like partially like in the old game, you could go to this screen and you can see like there's data here. But like this, what I would change is that this would then also have a view of something that indicate like, hey, you have to log in to do something. Right now it doesn't do that. And in this game, like, you can't do anything unless you're logged in. So again, I just need like some sort of screen to say, hey, please scan your new event to be able to do an activity. And I have, like I said, I'm having someone do some videos for that, and hopefully they'll be done in a couple weeks here. And we'll put that in the review a little bit better. And then this game, it was overheating my computer. So I'm going to see if I can make a simpler version of this game that's not going to be 3D to stick into the app. And then here's our app, right? So again, like the next steps is we're going to try and connect, like this view right here, which is offline. That's how this should do right here. I changed to say maintenance user required because I try to make it so that. Last year I tried to make it so that like people can understand, oh, this is not online, let me activate it with my new event. But I think I need to do a better call out. So this year I'm making it so like the video is going to tell you, hey, please scan your neo band to exit maintenance mode. Or this is a maintenance mode. We need someone to scan it and activate it. So that's going to be a little bit more clear as we go into it. So again, like where it says next slide, this bit right here was done by AI, and I need to actually make it look like this guy, right? Where it's like a fun, here's the wristband again, right? Where it's just a fun little spinner. So that's what we're gonna do next, is we're gonna get the spinner going, and then I gotta think about, because I don't like how our menu item and the buttons, you can only see the activate button right here underneath my photo. Let's just look like no one needs to see that much. Where are we? Where are we? That's good. How's that? Where is me? Where is me? I lost me. There's me. I'm back in the corner, baby. Okay, so that's where we're going to go with this a little bit. So we got to get it to feel, like I like how this had, if you go back to this screen, I added like a frost behind it. So I may just put frosted behind all the menus. Because this one, you can see that I added a blur, but I didn't make it transparent. So that's what I think I might end up doing. Or I may pick a different color. Like I may make this into like a dark purple or something. Something to make the buttons pop. And then these buttons, like, people are confused that these are buttons. So I just got to get the language, the UI language, to actually be more consistent, right? So like the easiest fix right now is I actually made this background frame different than the button frame, but this is like the old one. So in the new one, we're trying to kind of rethink that. So again, like I don't want to put a frame art, but I'm probably gonna try to make this button look a little different. The other thing is like what I could do is literally just make custom buttons for everything. Because we know there's going to only be like 4 main buttons here, and then we have some actions. So I may end up doing that. I may just go through and like I got it so it opens up and these buttons work, but now I can make these buttons be anything, right? So we've got overview here, metrics is blank because we have to add that in. Operations is this pipe hacking, right? So these buttons work, we can change them around. So the other thing too is keep in mind this is a touchscreen, and I've been like studying different touchscreens, how they work. Usually they're just big, bulky buttons, and I think the fact that I have like a pretty flat design is kind of takes away. Like these guitar buttons for what people's concepts of what buttons are. So just need to clean up a bit, I think. I don't know, because you can see how this feels like a button. If I actually put this in there, you know what? Maybe I should just design the buttons better. Maybe I should just design the buttons better. Because like, we know what a button feels like to people, right? So if I go back to that login screen, this is this button, right? We can tell that there's a frame. You can tell there's a little bit of a drop shadow in there. So if I just make this to have like a color, I may just color these. And then I'll click make them shrink or something. Because that's what these login buttons are doing right now. Right? You click on it to shrink. Oh, I'm creating I made a character. Oh, I did. I gotta fix that. I had the AI kind of tweak my login source. So yeah, okay, that's a lot of talking. I think I got in the mindset here of what I want to do. So the other thing is I want to make the spinner bigger. So I think that's where we're going to end up. Is like I don't want it this big, but I want it pretty big. Oh, it's not in here. But we're going to go until my breakfast comes, guys, and then we'll see where we end up there. So let's actually just start coding now. I think we got enough talking. I think we know what we want to build here. So let's switch this over. Where's home now? Okay. So you see how it says code circle? That's what we're looking at right now. So let's review this real quick. None of those also hide. Excuse me yet again. I apologize for coughing on camera. Let's look at this. So this is background video. So I want to revisit this. So it's pulling in schema is called never read. Can I get rid of schema though? Might be old. So we got seat size and style. Seat, if it's nothing, I do have a default for me. Size 100. Where's 100? That's just what the height is 100. So I could just do 200. Oh, that's a default. I could just change the default size. Let's just go there. User controls. Oh, see, here's it. Make it 100. Just make it 100 to see what happens here. Did that feel like it got bigger? I don't want that bigger. I want like 200. So let's make this 200. Excuse me. I think, okay, I apologize. I think I need a little tea break. So we'll get some tea and I'll get back to it because I don't want this to be coughing on. So hopefully I'll stop coughing again. I feel like this camera makes me pretty orangey. Oh, you know, it's the light. The light's making me orangey. That's what it is. There we go. A little less orangey now. Alright, so you can see we made it bigger, and since we're in this little limited space here, I made the button smaller, but what I wanted is actually make this like kind of like a background element. So let's go ahead and kind of set, because you see all these things. So right now we're not locked in. This should technically look like this guy. So that's the other thing I gotta figure out. Is why is it not gray right now? So we'll look into that. And then I do like the size of this guy. I think I may make this a little bigger. Well, maybe we'll keep that size for now. We'll keep that size for now. So let's go back here. So that's the other thing I'm kind of curious about is why is it not, like what was is there a state to it that I didn't add in? So we'll take a look real quick. Current player name. Code circle. So it just says there's a default size, default seed. Seed plus blank is a clean seed, has seed. Check to has seed. I don't know if this is necessary. I guess it's changed because there's a value there. Was my food here already? My food's here already. Sorry guys, my food's here already. Go back up the street real quick. continue our coding. I got plenty of fluids now. Okay, so we're trying to figure out what was causing. Okay, because here's the avatar, right? Oh, it has seed. If there's no seed, it's gray. So go use your controls. We're passing the player name or main, so we just get rid of this. So now it has no seed. So now we should see it as still not gray. It should be gray now. So I guess what we gotta do is we gotta check to see what value is coming in. Yeah, it doesn't look good to see. Right, it's still here. Here's your console. We're just going to activate it and unactivate it and watch you just see it ready. So we're logged in. You see, so the scan activated. I was expecting to say seed in here because we changed the seed value. But I'm not seeing that. So I'm a little confused as to why we're not getting a different seed at this point. Like it should say seed. So I'm just going to rebuild this. I'm going to rebuild this real quick. I'm not trust what we're seeing. We'll do a quick rebuild and then hopefully it'll just work. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so what we wanted to see was this being gray. Because there should be no seed value. And then if there was a seed value, it should say seed. I am not saying seeing it say seeds. Let's take a look at what we did again. Maybe we just didn't finish it. Oh, you know what? This is the old build. We put the seed console on the old build. We gotta go to our new build. User controls, including code circle. Let's look at our logic here. Add seed, every pulse increase with 100% seed. So we'll do console out of seed here. And that should be able to, that should tell us what's getting the value here. Oh, we're defaulting to me. Well, that's weird. This should just be. So I guess we're saying that's weird. So let's just do C. Do that. I must have been forcing a null value. Clean string equals length greater than 1. And C does not equal null. So this is still, are we looking at that right? No, it's wrong. You know, I should just talk about this as well. I don't know why I did it. There we go. Once again, I did the wrong file. Here's a good file. I should just do it. Nope. Seed is undefined. Grayscale, but it's a lot brighter than another build now, right? Because the last build, we look, I guess it's, no, it does feel brighter. Let's let's add some properties. I think we're just going to keep, we got what we wanted to happen. So I think our next step is we're just going to change some disgrace code. We're going to also add in opacity. Let's see if that looks nice. Ooh, that's weird. I didn't know. Why would it do that? Oh, did it toss in this width and height? What was that always measure? I think it's tossing in stuff on me. Let's break this down a little bit. I don't know why it decided it should make the bottom just scroll down. Is that just a resize thing? No. That's weird. I don't know why I just did that. Right, okay, so we got avatar opacity. I'm just going to rebuild. Real quick. It might just be an issue for just not filtering properly. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give like we're trying to get this circle to match our whole build, which looks kind of like this. You can see like something I just did added this great background to it. Well, I know what did the great background. I mean, like you can see it's no longer a circle, and I'm like, what just happened? I'm just gonna go back a little bit this here, I guess. See if the AI just tossed. Oh yeah, the AI did toss that in. Freaking AI. Stupid freaking AI. Okay, so let's just reload again. I added, I don't know if you saw, but I added in a width and height to that. Well, now I'm still not doing anything I wanted to do. I could just disappear. Whatever. Things are not going our way right now. There it is. Right? So, this div should just have a circle. So I guess, maybe I was trying to, I guess it's this guy. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So I put width, height, size here. Image with size. So are we doing the size is defaulting to 100? No, that all looks good to me. But I think what's happening is, let's just do the other thing I wanted to do, which was absolute this guy. And maybe that'll fix the issue. Also, now I gotta go back to this guy. Yeah, so that fixed the issue. But now it's like way too big. It's way too big now, so now I gotta mess with it a bit. But that's fine. Now it should be what we want. Okay, so now we got the new band. And this is kind of funny, like, I think it bounces when it's like just starting on it. You saw that bounce right here. So, okay, so we got our icon, we're going to push it over to the left. And that could be, let's see what happens. Right, so what I can do is then do code circle is in this box. It's a flex box. Just if I start, just do this start. Well, it's in a flex box. Treating all these as like different columns. Let's take a look at that. I may just take it out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, let's get rid of all this stuff. Yeah, okay, so now it's all aligned to the... So basically by default, everything in a browser tries to align as much to the upper left-hand corner as possible, because when you read, you usually read from the left to the right going down. So by default, everything's kind of set up that way, curve-wise. So right now, since I got rid of all the properties, it's saying, okay, I want to be in the upper left-hand corner of the box. So there's an invisible box right here. So knowing that I did position this absolute, I do kind of want it as a background element to that. Like I do want this on top of it, but I want it a little bit more opaque. I think I want it a little bit more opaque. I'm kind of being an artist right now. Where are we? Right here. So I think we have opacity 95. So we're going to move opacity 95 out here. And we're going to make pulse opacity 95. Opacity 50. Okay, so now it's darker. This is pretty much what I wanted. And then now I'm going to off-center the neoband actions. Well, actually, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to position this. We're going to say it was this mountain. And that's going to do two. I'm going to do that. I want to do two more. Yeah. Do you do by pixels? I don't want to do. Let's just see what random crap I did. Yeah, I moved it up here. Good old AI. I want to move it left. Well, let's just put left 10 and see if it moves it. Yeah, it's moving it right. Let's just put it right 10. Yeah, that's the crap I want. Because what I want is move it left more. So if I do left 0, it should just be where it normally is, right? So if I want to move it outside of its container to the left, just like a little bit, just so that we don't have a straight line there. And I could probably just do it like this, but then that's hard-coded. I'm trying to avoid hard-coding it. What I could do is just say, to run. Oops, sorry, I gave it to run. At least then it's a percentage. And what that does is if I stretch the container, because this is my monitor right now is going to do the final container, my final view. It's going to go on. I won't have it behind me, but I'm going to have a kiosk behind me. So it's going to be on a kiosk window. So it's going to be a little different dimensions. Okay. So that's what I'm like kind of playing. You see how like I guess that's fine. It's really going too far out. Yeah. Okay. So doing it by just a rem is fine. So a rem is a unit of measurement to the screen that's kind of like a percentage. There's a few things that go by pixels. So if you see px, that's 8 pixel. And, you know, everyone's screens are different resolutions. Rems kind of bypass the concept of just being pixels and be more by the resolution. But then you also got viewer height and viewer width now, which is a little bit more accurate. But rem is just like, hey, I usually use rem as just like I want to ballpark it, and I'm not really too concerned about the specifics. So yes, now see how like now I have it out. It's kind of like not in line here. The main reason is because I want the neoband actions to be aligned this way, and I kind of want to kind of contrast on top of that. So we'll get that going now. I think 50. Let's try a little bit lower. Yeah, okay. Because it's going to be bright once we get it going here. So that is, I think that's good. The code circle now. So the next step is for user controls. We want this button. Right now we have it just in this box. We might as well just position it absolutely as well. How's that one? Oh, now it's way up here. positioning in CSS. And the old CSS is now like a couple decades old now. But the old way to position it is it used to be relative, absolute, and I'm blanking on the other one because I just woke up. But there used to be like only 3 ways to do it, but now you have like fixed, which just says this is going to be at this spot no matter what you do. And then you have another one like sticky, I think is another way to position things now. Which is from the advent of like, hey, I need to be able to scroll certain things on my phone, but I need this to be at the top or whatever. So, I usually, like a lot of my CSS is from like 20 years ago. So, and I say CSS, but we're using, these are classes, right? So we're using Tailwind to kind of just say, here's a compilation of different CSS styles to do these things. So right 0, there we go, that's what I want. That's what I want. But you see now there's no gap there. So we might do like right 2. Yeah, right 2. And then you see now that we accidentally positioned that, the timer is up too high. So we need to fix that as well. But this is more or less what I'm thinking. So the way that we fix that is we just say, things are usually absolute to the parent container. So we say, and we gotta give it a minute. There we go. So now it drops it back down. So now you can see, now we kind of have like a cascade of like, here's this button on top of this guy. So the reason why we did that, and I'll show you right now, is like when I scan my wristband now, you see how like now it's underneath and it's a different color, and it changed the button. So that's the other thing we're going to fix right now is, what did it, oh, because you know what it is? Maybe I'll fix this by just changing the text. I'm going to turn the connection real quick. You see these 2 lines? That's going to make it bounce around. I don't want it to bounce around. So I'm just going to change that text because I'm going to be lazy with this. Maintenance user required. It's just user required. Yeah, user required. At least then you know it's like a user thing. There we go. That looks much nicer. And you see, like, the other thing I want to do now is try to figure out why it won't build when we logged in. It spins. So I can figure out what did I do to break the spinning. So that'll be our next step, because we're going to fix that spinning there. And we'll add these dots. These dots is just a font, and the font's just counting down the time. It's literally the same input, just as the dot notation there. And I like that, and I'm going to change that a little bit, because like basically I'm going to keep this. What I might do is, right now this is the same Player 3306, but I want it to match what I had last year, which is just the full username. Full user ID, the scan ID. So we're going to change that. The AI just decided that everyone should be player now, and just the last 4 digits, because AI. So I'm going to correct the AI on that. This is actually the longest an hour on. Usually, like, I've been kind of getting lazy and been using AI for too much stuff, so this has been a while since I've been just getting back to like, I'm just going to do it. I just want to get this done. So the next step is you see like this slider, placeholder by AI, so we're going to replace this to match our previous example where it had a timer. I am going to keep the sliding element, but I'm going to probably put that in some sort of container to make it look more cyberpunk. So this element's going to get more cyberpunk. This button here, we're going to probably redesign to make it look, not redesign, but I think we're going to fill a color in there. I think that's going to, let's log out, right? Yeah. So I'm going to move that, let's move that down as well. Let's move that down a little bit while we're here. Kind of center it on that. So right now it's absolute position, so I could also just do top 2. Yeah, that's about right where I want it. So let's scan ourselves in. Yeah, that looks cool. The only other thing I may do is, where do we have this guy right here? MP2. MP2? I don't like how the circle's like right on the line there. But it doesn't seem to be, yeah, that's just not respecting any margin or anything. Let's put it down here. Let's say MP2, margin top 2. Nope. None of that. is this the right build? Yeah, that's the right build. It just doesn't want to do anything here. We'll do P2. If that does anything. Okay, P2 did something. I guess, you know, I do like that it has additional tags there now. It's a little off the side a little bit more. I don't know. So P works. All I really want is PT2 though. We'll just give PT2 for now, and then we'll I kind of randomly use the top two. Like I don't know, I kind of like it that it's not directly center aligned, like a little bit off, feels more cyberpunk, you know. So I like that. So we'll determine. So that looks good. I think this is a better feel for. I'm actually going to put this stand on, so I don't lose it. I keep putting it down on my desk with a bunch of junk on my desk. So I think this is looking pretty cool. Right? And then this is my hack for if any Neotropolis folks are watching, this is my hack. I put a little wristband, a little wristband, like a little Wii remote thing, on the last little bit of my wristband, because these things keep popping off at the vent, just so that I have a second way to attach it to myself. And that works really good. So if you buy, just buy like a cheap, you can buy these for like a nickel, a little wristband, and just put it on your wristband. And yeah, then it holds pretty well. So yeah, so again, we're gonna do a scan, and then okay. So next step is I'm gonna see why our circle's not circling, and then we're gonna start designing this next slide. I don't want to say next slide. The AI decided that. I just want this to have a timer. And then the timer's off anyway, so then we may play the timer logic today. I don't know if I want to play that logic today. Because the timer logic is this. Is basically, if you're not logged in, you got 30 seconds in every slide. And every slide is the intro of what this terminal is, and then like a page for every game. And right now there's only 2 games, so there's only 3 slides. There's a hidden slide if you click on this, right, you can actually put in, if you know your user, like if you know your user ID, like the wristband ID, you can manually type that in. And that's like as a backup. If you, so what I'm also doing is, since this is supposed to work at a festival in the desert, last year I had a lot of things just randomly break and it didn't work that well, and I was like, where does this look? So I'm adding in a lot of like backups. Like right now, this scanner is my backup scanner. I have yet another scanner that's like twice as expensive that I don't want on my desk because I don't want to break it before the event. So what's fun is you can see this little code right here. It says USB RFID. I have it now so that I can detect which scanner I'm using. And that'll just change. So I can see at a glance like, oh, this is broken. So if I actually unplug this is kind of funny. So now I have nothing scanned in. And it takes a few seconds here. Hopefully it'll do it. I don't know if it's going to do it. I haven't tested this anymore. There it goes. Cowboy mode. It says cowboy mode. Because what it does is, says, oh, nothing's plugged in. So that's just a little indicator for me visually to know, like, oh, nothing's plugged in. And then you have to type it in. So, like, well, what my expectations is people going to the festival, they may come up to me and be like, hey, my wristband's not working. And I'll be like, does it say cowboy mode? And they'll be like, oh, yeah. And I'll be like, okay, let me see your wristband. And I'll just scan it on, like, I have, this little guy will scan the wristbands. So I may just scan it and then write down their serial number and be like, okay, click on Neoband actions, type in this number. And what I'm also going to do is probably add in, well, no, because the UI will do it. The Windows UI will actually pop up a digital keyboard. So I'll have a digital keyboard pop up where you can type in your wristband ID. And that'll be like the backup. That's cowboy mode. So I'm going to start this year with at least a lot of little, like, options here, so we have a better experience at the event. So, having said that, I'm liking where this is going. I think we definitely need to figure out why it's not spinning. I don't know why it stopped spinning, so I'll have to look into that. Let's see here. Because that should just be, oh, you know what it probably is? I bet I know what it is. Let's go to, did I not have it open anymore? Yeah. So what it probably is I have probably somewhere in this code, this is the old code, this is all just a refactor of last year's project. We should have some sort of spinner class in here, if I'm not seeing it. So we go back to our avatar component here. So it should be this animate spin slow. So I'm going to double check, see if that is something well, let's just toss it in there. Let's just toss it in there and then see if it's a tailwind thing. And I'm having issues with not loading. I don't know why it's not loading there. Circle. Okay, animate spin slow is in there. And we do see it change colors. So this is indicating that, yeah, this might be a me thing. So let's look at, I'm going to just do a search here real quick. Screw AI today. Okay, so it's an extension. I don't think it comes out of the box here. Okay, so I think what it is I need to go to, yeah, so we need to just go look at the old code real quick. This is easy to fix at least. Just this guy, this is the carousel. But you see, like it mentioned the config file, so Tailwind. Tailwind is just a collection of classes. So here's the config file from last year. And you can see I have some, what's this extend here? This right here, keyframe spin. Spin slow, spin fast. So I'm actually going to copy all this theme over and keyframes. Right, so all theme. I think that's what's missing. So if I go back to my other build, I have this in two different windows. I don't know all this stuff. Right, and then we'll probably just look for our tailwind configured here. So it may not even have a tailwind configured. That might be it. Yeah, I just don't have it. Should be like right here. Okay, so let's just see what happens now. I may need to refactor, restart that. Yeah, it's not doing it. And then we may be at a point where I may just jump into AI real quick and ask, why does it not work? Because it may just be like, you need to hard this. Okay, so we'll try it one more time. Because it may just need, since it's config file, it may just need to be restarted. Nope, still not working. Also, did this pick a different color for me this time? I don't remember it being that. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, this is easy. This is what I like using AI for, is when it's just simple, like, hey, I see X in this, I'm seeing Y in the other, I should see X. Okay, for T418. Okay, so this is loading two different windows. Why am I not seeing two different windows? Am I just being dumb? I think I'm just being dumb. Okay, code circle. Animate spin slow. Animate spin slow. Animate spin slow. Nice. New. Missing. Tailwind. Terminal 418 carousel. Terminal 418 carousel. This is a good question for AI. It's just like, hey, I did this thing, I expected this outcome. I don't want to sit here and look through all my documentation and figure out why this doesn't work. Could you just tell me why this doesn't work? So then it's just going to scan one build, because I gave it the names of the build, right? I told it it was Terminal 418 Carousel, and then T418 Kiosk. Although I misspelled it, it should be able to figure it out. And this may take a second here. So yeah, okay. I was missing, it looks like I was missing Tail and CSS, some of those classes. Okay, cool. Let's go over what it says. So a lot of people, they don't even read what it does, and it's always kind of important to at least glance at it, see if it's doing what you want. Okay, you're using tone, copy tone. Okay, so I'm using a newer version, because I built the kiosk, the original kiosk 2 years ago, and there's a new version of Tailwind. So the configuration is just completely different. So it says, oh, I just need to add it as a theme CSS file. So the question then is, did it delete the file that I added because it's no longer used? And the answer is, no, it didn't. So I'm just going to double check. So it kind of fixed the solution, but then it just left garbage in there, right? Whereas like, you don't want to leave garbage in there. So it's going to check to see like, hey, do I need this file? And maybe update that file if it's necessary. Nope, it's telling me to delete it. And I actually already copied a lot of these colors in already. I see like the grades are a little different than what I have on the current build, but I don't think I need to copy that. So we'll just delete this file that I added. Because the new tone doesn't need to use that file. Okay, cool. So now we did all that. See, this is exactly what I feel like AI is just the best at. Is like it looked at what I did, it looked at the documentation, said, oh, you're not following documentation right, just do this instead. So that probably saved me like 20-30 minutes. That I feel like AI is pretty solid with. It's really good at just reviewing hundreds of pages of documentation. I'm very slow at that. So, now we did that, we should be able to go into our app, run to it, load it again, and hopefully now we should see the thing spin when you log in, right? So, right there, that's exactly what I want to see. And then, scan. Okay, there it is. It's spinning. It's spinning. That's exactly what I wanted. And you can see I gotta update the slides to not fill up the whole screen. Or at least add some sort of background to this. I think I'm just gonna make it not fill up the whole screen. Which is fine. I gotta get back into it. The other part is like this is designed for a specific device, and my resolution and my dimensions aren't the right dimensions of that specific device. So I gotta go, before I get like too crazy with the finite details of how it lays out, I need to actually upload it onto that device and just see how it looks. Because it might be, right, it might be something where like the dimensions more like this, and then I may want to leave it overlaid, or maybe like this where it's like, okay, there's plenty of room to have this on the side. So that's stuff we're going to figure out. But you can see now this feels a little bit more like, not quite a button just yet. I think I got to add some color to this. And we'll do that right now, actually. I'll just load it right now. Because I think we'll add we might add the green, because we haven't used that green. So the green I'm talking about is, did I close it? No, it's actually, what happened here? Something broke. You know what I bet I did? I bet I deleted, I bet I deleted the tailwind from the wrong build. This is what happens when I refactor things, I just get confused. What that? Did I just delete it from the wrong build? Because we're refactoring, right? Okay, yeah, so I probably deleted it. Yeah, because this is the kiosk app, this is the tail. I deleted it from the wrong build. I'm a genius. Move to trash. Okay, so that's beyond. So now we should see, yeah. that looks good, and then, well, that always looks good. Very fresh. This should actually look, no? Oh dear. Oh dear. What did I do? So luckily, this is why we do, yeah. There we go. This is why we have GitHubs, and then I just reverted back any changes in this build to an older version, which is a saved version. So, like anytime I accidentally futz with it, that's all done. So now I'm very fresh. It's hopefully it'll load. Oh, I don't know why it's forever. Oh, what the hell? Why is it still broken? Why are you still broken? Let's try this again. Why is it still? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I just undid. Did I do the wrong build? No, it's definitely the old build. Yeah, the old build. This carousel. I don't know what just happened. Like all the old files, if I accidentally deleted a file, it should be there. So I'm just rebuilding it real quick. So there's a process, right? So you build to go get all the files ready for like a launch. And what it does is, when I do it in developer mode, it's adding additional files just to make it faster for development. Whereas like when you build mode, it makes it smaller and compact, so that it's a smaller download for people. People downloading it off if it was a website. But this is not a website. It's going to live on a physical machine, and it's only going to be at the event, right? So that's why usually I don't really care too much. Let's try this. Oh, that's right. So now that we did build, we're going to actually do. So we'll see what happens here. Why is this just not building anymore? I'm very confused why I decided to just not want to build. There's no errors, no warnings. That's the other thing that's confusing the heck out of me. Did I accidentally set the zoom? No, the zoom's okay. This is very, very weird to me. Very, very weird. Like, this is just not loading right. It's like, let's close it all. Yeah, it's still not loading right. What the hell? What is going on? That is bizarre. That is very bizarre. So we rolled back to like a working version, and you can see it's like loading fine here. And it has some messaging here, but it's not anything that's like supposed to script the rendering. I don't know why the render got all weird. Like it's definitely feeling like it's missing a file. Go to network tab. Network tab almost here. Nope, it's grabbing everything just fine. Like it's actually getting the data from the game. That is bizarre. That is bizarre. I don't know what happened here. Like, it's functionally working, it's just not visibly showing up correctly. Yeah, what's with it? I don't, so that's the thing is I rolled back, so it should be fine. Okay, there's a, like, look, we'll just check this real quick. Yeah. So this is just not getting something. I feel like it's missing a CSS file or something, which makes no sense. Maybe I just need to Chrome. But this looking fine. This one's looking fine. The old one just suddenly decided to stop using CSS for whatever reason. one, yeah, again, it's not. What? I'm just very confused because there's no changed files at this point because I rolled everything back. What the heck happened? I have another branch. Maybe that's a fire. That's a fire hydrant. Local face. That is bizarre. I don't know why it just, okay, now it says there's 2 errors. Build fetch. Why is it error? Interesting. That is bizarre. I don't know why it is. Okay, so it's breaking in both. Why would it just suddenly start breaking? I'm not even changing the code on it. Oh, I might ask Clyde. Or, that's weird. I'm really like baffled as to why it just suddenly stopped working. Because like it's rolled back. There's no commits to the code. The only thing I can think of is if yeah, I don't see anything changed here. Oh, there's still some open covers. You know what I'm gonna just do? Close stuff here. Close that guy. What does it say this? Build cache issue. Yeah, it says blow the packages away and just reinstall. We could try that. I could try that. That's right. This one would be better. Wow. This one. That's working fine. I don't know what happened here. MPU installing before death. Okay. It's just saying reinstall. So it's like, okay, we can reinstall. So we're reinstalling now. I don't know why it wants me to reinstall. Like, what happened that it just suddenly stopped working? Keep in mind, I did remove a config file, so maybe something did get cached. Like when I accidentally removed the config file. Which is what it kind of looks like. But I think it just cached the node thing. Which is kind of wild, but it is what it is, so let's get rid of some part here. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's just refresh if it works. Is it gonna work? Are you gonna work this time? Do we clear out your cache? I hope it was just a next caching issue. Yep, it was just a caching issue. That was bizarre. So to rehash what I did, what the mistake was, is I was trying to add in a refactor, just copy over, because React, the idea is like you're supposed to be able to like reuse things. So I was trying to copy over some of the config to get this to spin, right? So I was missing a style to spin. So you can see it spin now, right? And when I did that, I accidentally, I moved over a config file. It turned out that for this version we're using v4 tailwind, so we didn't need a config file, so I deleted it. But in the process, I accidentally deleted it from the old build. And during that, it rebuilt and cached the fact that I was missing the config file for tailwind. So what we were seeing was most likely the fact that it cached the missing tailwind config. Like the fact that it was gone. So I had to clear up the node. So like the command that the AI helped me with, which is like, I should know how to do that. I should have to try that. This is right here, it's .next. Since we cleared out anything in the .next folder, it probably is what fixed it, to be honest. So something to remember, something for me to remember next time is I should probably clear out the .next cache file, and then go from there. So that's good. That should be good now. Yeah, so let me know if clear the .next file is fixed or something. It's fixed. I'm not going to tell it that's fixed though, because that's just a cost. I will always spend my tokens. I gotta spend my tokens. Okay, so we're going to look at our build now. Did I close it? Yeah, here it is. Right, so we got this looking good. So again, I do want to make this feel more like a button. But right now, it just kind of feels like it's just layered on top there. So I'm going to add some colors to it. I think we're going to make the frame hot pink here. Or, no, that's right. The whole thing I was starting with, is I was saying, you see how this is green here on the one you selected? So I'm debating if I want to make the button green, right? Because right now it's only green if it's highlighted. So I'm debating if like that's where I want to move forward with that. I think I'll do it pink. I think I'll do it the hot pink. Because the green ideally is, I don't know. Because like in the new design, we don't have like a fixed state anymore for that. The new design, what happens is on the kiosk, you click this, it pops in and out. And then this icon's going to change. This is what's going to happen. Right now they're all the same icons, we don't see it changing. So I need to figure that out a little bit different. Because then now, like I feel like this at bare minimum, so I just log out. It needs to bounce, but that's fine. But I feel like it doesn't feel like a button right now, right? I don't think people know to click on that. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, change the colors, and then I want to see if I can add like a background glow to this. But then like I don't know, I may just make it a solid color, and then I may actually have to redo this. But we'll see how. Yeah, let's just change the colors in React first, and then we may actually have to go back to the straight for this. That's what I'm thinking. This right here. So that's going to be in our SVGs here. So we'll start with, because this is the event, right? So they're all colored white. Oh, this is a mess. As you can see, we have all these separate paths, and I don't know which one of these paths, because I don't have any names on these. So we're just going to start adding colors. We're just going to start adding colors, and then see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Is that doing it? No. It's supposed to be colored. Oh, this is exit. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we see that this is actually the reds, and then we're going to add the bright pink in there. That bright pink. And then we'll see how that feels. I just tossed the red because it's the easiest color to type. It's RGB, 3 letters. This is how you know you're old school. You're old school when you type in red or green just to see something happen. It's like, I just want to see something happen. Just make it some color that's not on the screen. Yes, we'll go back to this guy. I don't know what. And then we'll go down to our colors. We'll find it. What is that? Assets. Styles. What's the style? Copy style. So there's another file. I believe it's absences. Okay, we don't need this one. This one should have like the hot pink already in here somewhere. So I'm just going to hard code it in there. Because it's an image. I'm going to treat it like an image. I think just do that. Great. So there's a hot pink now. Hot pink. Okay, so we got that going. I was thinking of changing the wording here anyways from new event actions to like login. Because right now that doesn't feel like feels like a button, but it doesn't feel like. I'm debating. Yeah, you know what? I think unfortunately we will have to go bring this into Illustrator. I think we'll go bring it into Illustrator because I want to add a background color to this. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is we'll add a background color to this, and then we're just going to put opacity. We'll put like opacity on that background color. And then I'm going to change the main reason we're going to put in Illustrator is to get that shape in there, in the background of this button. And then we're also going to take out the word actions, and we're probably replace action with like login, neoband login. Because people understand the word login. Action's a little too big for people. So then I think they'll know that we could, hopefully then they'll know that they can click on this maybe. No, feel more like a button that they can click on. To pull up this screen. And then this screen, like, well, this is going to change because it's going to change, like, depending on what viewer is right here. And once they enter your name, they'll actually just show a login to continue kind of screen. Where it will say, like, we'll actually play a video here. I'm debating that. So this screen is going to change. It's going to be like, it'll probably just be a big old neoband icon. And go from there. So yeah, we're going to update this button now, I think. Yeah, we'll update this button. And then we may actually, the idea was like, right, because like, we were talking about what our login, our goals are for the day, so the login flow. So I think I will actually design a screen for this sooner than later. So I don't think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to try and make another neoband image while I'm editing this guy, and just crop the shape a bit, because I do have like some different like cyberpunk shapes that I've saved that I can reuse. And then we're going to try and get this going so that this is just a nicer little thing that says use your neoband. And like I said before, earlier, if you haven't been watching, so I have it gracefully degrade. So if I leave this off, and it'll be off for like 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but like 10 seconds. It checks like every 10 seconds to see if this is actually plugged in. So now we have it in cowboy mode. So what we're seeing now is essentially what I have for cowboy mode, where if they can come to me and ask what their band is, and then I have this device here that I can just have separately, that I can scan for their ID. And then they can actually just manually put in their ID if the device breaks. Which is what happened last time. So then now it's plugged in. Give it a sec. It'll go from cowboy mode to RFID reader in a second. So that's the next thing I think we're going to do once we get this design done. And like again, what we're going to do is we're going to change this next slide to match this guy right here. And then we're going to keep the and I'm probably going to change the color. I like this bright neon green for that. That'd be kind of cool. So we're going to probably change the fill for that and make it a little bit more cyberpunky. And go from there. Yeah, so I think that's going to be our next steps for like the next hour or so. Though I may need to take a quick break because I've been doing this for almost 2 hours. So we'll go for another 3 minutes and then we'll take a quick break and then we'll get back into it. But yeah, I really feel like I want to just wrap this up. So now that I put the pink on there, I feel like I know what I want to do with that design. So we're going to open up Illustrator now. So let me Illustrator. And I think I have this as an image still. So I think I can just pull this up. You can see all the other stuff I've been working on. We're going to pull up these cyberpunk shapes as well. I still have this available to me. So those are cyberpunk shapes. I have the examples right now. And then I have personal files. There should be Neotropolis. And hopefully here, okay, so I have this SVG. That's not the right SVG, right? Okay, that's an older version of it. This I may actually use this later. Actions is maybe, yeah, this is one we want. This is the one we're going to edit just now. Another one, we're going to make a new guy. There should be another one that's like terminate connection, yeah. So while we're at it, we're going to add background to this guy as well. Just so we have it. So all I'm going to do is, this one's good, we're just going to toss in the background. I'm going to crop it out real quick. And we're going to make a new icon for it. So So we'll do both of those right now, so just so we have both of them for that spot. So this is going to be really easy. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in grayscale, just so you can see. Well, not in grayscale, I'm just going to go like that. Send it to the back. I believe that is this one. There we go. And I'm going to select everything, and then we'll go to our tools. View. Actually, where's our tools? Actually, I want to happen. Let's just reset our tools here. I feel like this is. There we go. I was missing that. I don't know why that's. I know some people have some cooler setups for this, but I'm just jumping into it. So all I really want to do is, you see all these different Pathfinder buttons? So I just hit this guy. We'll just show the results. One of these just automatically cuts things to how I want it. This guy. That's the one I just hit, right? This guy. Oh no, you know what? Let's just do. One of these dudes will just do it. I thought it was this guy. That's just cutting it backwards. You know what we could do is I'm debating what the best way to do this now because I don't know off the top of my head. I thought I was able to just take it all and just hit. Well, you know what? That's probably because there's more. Yeah, that's what I wanted this one. Oops. I knew there was more. It was hiding it. You see it was hiding in the menu here? It was, oops, not even that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do is just add background color to it, and then, oh, you know what I should have done first? I forgot. Go back a few steps here. Yeah, first thing we should do is we're going to go to the word neoban actions. Because that's too big for our use case here. This guy, that guy, and then we take in and then that was just intact. This is just intact. I don't know if you guys are doing that more. And then we'll just kind of get the right size. You can tell I didn't do this too much. That pretty much shows the right ones. But then, let's see if I can get rid of more patches there. Oops. So I gotta make this object. Oh, I gotta get rid of everything. Well, let's get rid of this one. I'm gonna rid of this one. This is fine. I'm okay with this. That didn't work correctly. And then let's align the text. It'd be nicer if this was like a line over here. Why is it not aligning? Oh. Stupid text. Is it because I hit enter on this? Whatever. I'm over it. Let's get this going. So I can just center. See, it lets the center works. Did I just hit the wrong? Oh, I just hit the wrong button. So what's this guy? Justify with line with last line right. Align right. Okay, whatever. And then what I'll probably end up doing is taking this guy here and just expanding the this guy. login. So that's a little bit more clear of what we want to accomplish here. Instead of just actions. And then what we do is the object expand. Okay. And then keep in mind, I now have the word neoban on top of the word neoban, so I go through and delete all these letters. So now this is neoban login, it all matches. Yeah, that's fine. It's kind of it's bottom right align, which is kind of weird, but that's fine. My brain is wanting me to bring these two letters closer to the kerning. Let's just do that real quick. Okay. So it's like just a tweak. They'll read better with the eye. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Neoban line. So then, now that we did that, just make sure the object expand this guy. This guy's in the background. Oh, then, yeah, these are letters cut out here. Everything's cut out. Move this to the background. Okay, once. Take this. Hit the secret button that's missing now. It's not all cut out. Then go object. Expand again. I just don't remember all the hotkeys for this anymore. That's what we want. That's all we really want. Now I could go in and add the colors now. Should we try that? Let's just try that. So we want this guy to be the hot pink. So let's go to our color. Here's the hot pink. So I'm always kind of like add colors. Excuse me. I think I may have to take another break some more. I'm out of the hot tea, so now like I feel the fun coming back. So yeah, with this guy, we'll just change the background. Well, you know, I'm not going to do the colors right now. Though I should have probably just picked a nicer color. Change this all to a gray. I picked all gray. Oh wait, I can just do that. Is it already cut out? It's already cut out. Go back a few more steps here. So I'm just being nitpicky. Back, grab it all. These can't find your button. Object expand. There, now we got it, so that at least it's like kind of grayscale. It'll be easier to read. And yeah, we'll just do file. Save as, I should update this. Oops, and then we'll do trick to make. I'll show you guys how you make an Illustrator into SVG for React. So then I go export. Export from what do I think it was? Actually, no, I think it's save as. Save as. And then here, format SVG. You can see maybe the event button SVG. But we're not actually saving it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to hit save. And then we're actually going to hit this SVG code button. And this is what we're going to copy into our file. So you can see right now it's adding classes for those colors. It says we have STL1 and we have a default fill. So just keep that in mind. That's going to try to add classes to the colors. which is great because we may actually just say these classes are these colors. So you can see this is the code for that for our SVG. So we're just going to copy this in to our build, and it should just work. I'm going to clean it up a little bit because you see it has like this generator file. We don't need that. We don't need these defs. That's kind of weird. So we really just need the pass. And we should see something. It may just look like a black box when we upload it in, but that we should at least see something. So we'll go back into our code now. So you see like we just have the pass here. So the main thing is we didn't change the dimensions. So the dimensions should still be 300 by 150. So that's why I'm just copying in the paths. And we're going to do something up here. Okay. Even then, like right here is ID layer 1. That's it. That's me not being cleanly last time. So you can see now it has two different classes here. We'll leave the classes here, but we're going to change. Here, we say class equals should now say class. See if that works. Okay. So now they're all class names. I'm going to get the AF to just format this. Instead of TSX. But I did find it. I just there's probably like two hotkeys I could have done to just automatically like tap it in. But the one thing I'm kind of wanting to get away from using this particular IDE because they just toss AI everywhere. Like even when I kind of just got out with like two commands. It's now like, they just say, oh, no, you have to AI fix this. But like, I did notice, like, oh yeah, we're actually using 2 spaces while you copy pasted this 4 spaces. So let's try to fix that as well. It shouldn't take this long. Like, there was a formatting button that would have done this faster, because like, basically you set a linting file, and it just checks the linting file. Should have just checked the linting file, be like, oh, this is still formatted. But instead, it's going to read all the other files and be like, oh, I'm going to make my own linting file based off of all the other files. Where it should have just been like a source of truth that should have followed. And this is taking way too long. Also, my mouse just wow, yeah, my the battery in my mouse just died. So we're going to let that go. I'm going to get actually some more batteries here. Luckily, I have them right here. I'm feeling like a feeble old man. I can do this for you. There we go. Batteries for these. Alright, so we got batteries. And we just got oh. It's USB-C. I don't know what I'm doing, so let me grab a USB-C. I have a bazillion USB-Cs. So I should do one over here. Look at this, you can jump rope with this USB-C. That's all big this USB-C is. But you know what? I had a USB-C plugged in. I'm just being dumb. I already had a USB-C plugged in, just sitting here. Right where I need it to be. Okay. Yeah, a lot of options. That took forever. Okay, so that was a big waste of time. But you can see the file's not cleaned up. So at this point we say we have a class. Let's save this. Now when we look at our build, we should just see a big ugly black blotch now. Probably. Yeah, oh, it's all white. So I know it's going to be like a single color, but that's kind of what we wanted because we wanted to fill that out, and that's fine. So, basically what it is we have no defined colors now, and the current color is white, so just making the whole thing white. So what we can do is, we could do a few things. We could actually, I think what I might just do, let's go to our app CSS, and you see we have the colors here as a root. I'm just going to take these colors, and right below it, I'm just going to make classes for each one of these. So I'm going to say, oh, I actually, yeah, what did I just do? I think about that for a second. I'm going to say color, hot pink. Sorry. I think I did something here. Okay, it knows exactly what I'm trying to do now. All I have to do is just tab. Well, it kind of knew what I want. Neon green and tech teal, so we want color tech teal. Oh, did I already do tech teal or I don't care about. So actually, you know what? Yeah, because this is actually. You see how I have like the opacities here? So we will do that. Pink. So now we have all the colors there. I do want to redo this in a different way because I also want to do UG pink. Yeah, it knows now. It knows. Teal. Yeah, that's what I want. And this way we can use these colors as background colors and then as fill colors. So let's go ahead and do that. So then here we're at STL1, we're just saying color pink. And hopefully we'll have the same, hopefully we should have, so that should make us, okay, so we colored the wrong thing. So it's not in the same order as I thought it was, but you can see like it is working. So I have to go through and kind of color all these. I think we want that to be done. Yeah, so that's the memory. So we're just going to have to go through all of these and just see what they do. We could cheat. Let's just cheat real quick. We're going to say ST1 is going to be neon green. So that's what it is, like almost all the way there. Right? So that looks. Okay, so that color even the background. Oh! Actually, what we want is that should be. We'll just change it real quick. That should be the hot pink 25. Which is a 25 opacity. So that should look better, right? Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And then we just need to figure out which one of these is the outline, which is probably this dude right here. Yeah. How cool is that? That just worked out. That feels like a button. That feels like it matches this conversation here. And it doesn't feel as like empty as before. I think that's cool. Now, I might just leave it like that for now. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that for now. Like I may change the colors in here to be like a bright green or a bright color, but I think that's good for what we want to accomplish at the moment. I'm already on this page, so let's go to the page. Because the other thing is, like, you see how I have the text in the header color. I need to figure out what color I want for the text. think that looks pretty good at the moment. You know what I want to do? Let's see if I could do. I just had a thought. Kids. I just had a thought. Let's go to here. We're going to here. We're going to go back to our user controls and then the top here. Let's just do border. Let's just do the again, we're using green so we can see it. I'm going to change the color, but I'm just curious about, okay, so we can see where our box is now, which is what I was hopeful to see. That's good. So what we want to do is, like, actually was thinking of doing just black. That way it will pop out, well, the line still goes right through it. Is this, I guess this is below? How is this below that container? Let's look at, because it's not just user controls, it should be carousel menu. That should be at the highest level, or it should be higher than that. Top, what are the Xeons? We don't have this. I don't know Z10. Z10. I just want to see what happens here. Okay, so, yeah, here, it got rid of, you know what it is? I kind of know what it is. I'm just being dumb. You can't do black brown. It's just EG black. Yeah, it's just EG black. I don't want it to be black. We'll just do, yeah. So we're gonna do, perfect. Backdrop blur. Let's see if that does what I want. Nope, doesn't do it well. It just kind of cuts it out. That's fine for now. We'll leave that there for now. That kind of hits what I want to hit, which is like I don't want to mess up with the UI here. The other thing I want to do is maybe just do rounded. I think the backdrop blur is going to clean up what we want. Okay, that feels a lot better already. I feel like that's more of like, this feels like it's something you may want to click on now. It feels like a button. It doesn't just feel like it's just standing alone there. That feels a lot more solid. Alright, so let's look at it. So the next step then we're going to have to fix this button next, right? So this is going to be the next step, is change that to have a background, which should be pretty simple. We just did that. So we're going to fix that. You can see like now it's still full screen, but now it's cutting off behind the back here because we added a backdrop that's a blur. So it's supposed to blur that color out. It's not quite doing that. It just kind of cuts it off. So you can see here, like you see how like the box goes down this far, but it does kind of like add a frosted glass to the background there, just to keep it. So I'm probably going to cut this a lot smaller once we actually timer it and just kind of box into this area. That's kind of like what I want. Like, I don't mind it kind of floating there and just blurring things. I think that's kind of a neat deal. We don't need to frame it out either. I think it's just going to be nice to just have like that frosted there. And I don't think it's going to be that visible. You can see like, it's kind of funny, that line just kind of vanishes. It's just a single line. Once it hits the blur there. I was hoping it would just kind of fade out, but that's fine as well. So again, I think it's looking really nice now. I'm liking it now as like, last year it was kind of like a last minute thing, and now it just kind of feels like it's kind of, see, okay, so yeah, so next step is we're going to make this icon be pink as well. Oh, there's a cooldown. Other thing I gotta do is add in the message thing, like a 1 minute cooldown here. So yeah, let's say our next step is we're gonna update that terminate connection button. It's gonna be our next step. Also, that's interesting. You see how like now this is the appropriate login. Like I should be seeing this when I log in. I should say player. So I gotta look and see what's going on with the user flow. Because I think the AI gets some wonky stuff with the user flow here. I just had the AI do the scaffolding for me. Alright, so I gotta look into that, and let's fix this terminate connection button since we have it open. And again, it's gonna be very simple. There's terminate connection. We're actually not even gonna change the font on all this. This is perfect the way it is. You're perfect. Every single way. Okay, so let's pick a random gray here. Just make it so that we have something that's still legible. And then we're going to put this background color, and then we just drop a box right and just send it to the back. Send it all the way to the back. I don't know why I did it that way. I just did it that way. And then we're going to use our expand, and there's a special one right here. It's app right here, which is divide. Which just takes everything and sets it up again. But like now all the colors are just kind of like on top of each other. And then, not on top, but they're touching each other. So then we just expand again. And now the object on group. And that should be able to just cut up that. And now we have an inside color, and I can just fill that in for colors. And we should be good to go. That's weird. It looks like it cut me off and started again at some point. I hope everything's going fine. I just noticed that it says stream elements twice here. So hopefully my connection is doing alright. So yeah, so now we got a better terminate connection thing. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to actually probably save this now. We're just going to save over it. And then if I ever need to get rid of that, come back in. So now this is good. So like if I ever need to just use the colors, I can just go in and like say, oh, I want this to be blue or something. So I just go ahead and change it. Right? It's a little bit easier now. But now that we have it in the way that we want to use it, we just go back to save. I got save as, and I'm going to say we want SVG. It's save, but we're actually not going to finish our save. We're just going to do SVG code. And this is the old one, so we actually have to close this and try this again. SVG code. There we go. There's a new SVG code. And then we're just going to copy after defs everything to paths. We're only concerned with that. SVG, and then we're going to go back to our actual build here. We have our SVGs here. And I just make them as React components because that's the cleanest way to do this. This should save like exit. And then we're just going to get components. And what I'm going to do is delete this, paste this in, and then we're going to tell the AI previous I think at this moment I'm going to take a quick break. Guys. I'm going to go to intermission.